What's going on, Roe Star Sports here, Cowboy Nation, coming to you live very, very quickly. Let's get down to it. I said I was going to come on very, very quickly to share with you about my thoughts on the game. I've already vented earlier about the Cowboys and what I felt about the game. So let's dig into it. Hey, listen, subscribe to the channel and like the content. I'm coming to you riggedy raw. Just go around. Let's get it, man. Marty Schottenheimer interview. As you well know, I don't have all of the the AI gadgets and things of that nature. I don't have all of that, but we got audio. I mean, I got video, we got audio, so I got to get that together, hopefully sooner than later. And so I can have all the little toasters, the modern day toasters, the back screen, green screens, and all that good stuff for you guys. But right now, I ain't tripping on none of that. Let's just get down to it. All right, Marty Schottenheimer, brace yourself for this. I told you this is like the first time I'm going to hear this for the day, so see what he got to say. Here we go.
It's Dallas Morning News. Brian, what was the issues with trying to finish drives tonight for you guys?
On third down. Calvin, you go 2 and 12 on third down. I thought they did a good job with their blitz packages. They had us confused a little bit. That starts with me.
I'm going to stop right there. They did a good job with their blitz packages. Remember that when I start talking about Eberflus.
Got to do a better job with that. Give Coach Flores and his staff some credit, but it comes down to third down. Now, we were pretty...
But here's the thing, though. You already know how Brian Flores get down. You should have been prepared for that. You already know how Coach Brian Flores get down. He believes in blitzing your hind parts. You should have had a game plan together to implement that, to impede that. That was your fault. That was your error in your preparations for this game, knowing that you're going up against a Brian Flores high-powered blitz defense.
You get on third down or fourth down, but you can't go 2 for 12. Situation, we didn't play very good tonight offensively. We weren't very good on third down, and we weren't very good in the red zone, and that's why
the reason why you wasn't that good in red zone, the reason why you wasn't that good on offense, is because your play calling stunk. We ain't gonna put it on nobody else at this point in time. You chose to run first, pass second, the entire game. That was your game plan. That was your mistake. Your horses are on the outside. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. They've been killing the offenses all year. Why all of a sudden you want to change up? We'll get to that in a minute.
See us struggle in the second half, and that's kind of where it starts.
Defensive pressure, I think Kenny Crockett was saying it's tough to bring him down, even though he's been sacked 9 times coming to this game. Why do you think he has some issues trying to get him?
Yeah, he's athletic. I want to look at the film first, Calvin, but he's athletic, and I thought he stepped up a couple times and made some nice plays, but, strong lower body guy, that's real, and I think he's a hell of a competitor. He made the plays. I think that's a big thing for us tonight is we didn't make the critical plays when we needed to. And when you look back on this game, I feel like we kind of let one slip away because there were some good moments, and unfortunately we did it at an inopportune time.
You let one slip away. You let one slip away. You let 2 slip away. 2. You cost us 2. You changed the offensive scheme, the offensive play calling, the overall game plan on the offense. You changed it. This offense ain't been the same since they went on a 3-game winning streak before they played the Lions. You changed it. You did, sir. Damn it.
Clarence said DLLS Cowboys. What were they doing to take Pickens away?
Yeah, again, a lot of cover 2. A lot of different technique things. They change your coverage up a lot. But again, there was a plan to try to limit our explosives, and I think he had 6 targets and only three catches, and that's not enough. And that starts with me and the offensive staff. We got to find ways to get him the ball better.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We already knew in cover 2 or cover 3, we already knew that they were going to double team either Pickens or CeeDee Lamb. We already knew this, which is the reason why you should have gotten Mingo involved in the offense early in the season, which is the reason why you should have been using 2 or 3 of your receivers in reserve to fill that slot position, because we already know Turpin is too small. You should have been using Flournoy, or you should have been using Mingo, because those are your go-tos at that point in time if they're going to double team Pickens. We already know that. Or if they're going to double team CeeDee Lamb. You need to have somebody that's ready to pick up the slack, a go-to, a read 3. Come on, man.
You were very aggressive in the first half, certainly the fake field goal, and I think 2 or 3 other 4-down conversions. Third quarter, I think you're up 23-17, and you try a 59-yard field goal rather than try to pin them deep. You second guess that, or
no? I actually said it in there, Clarence. Again, we're spoiled with Brandon Aubrey. You know what I'm saying? What a great player. But no. Felt really good about it. He's such a great player. I had no question in my mind he was going to make it, and I feel good about that decision.
Brian Todd Archer with ESPN. You said you guys were confused a little bit of their pressure looks. What confused you? Was a new stuff that they were throwing at you tonight?
It was a lot of like all up looks, and then they were checking out of it, and they did a good job. And that's what we talked about this week with you guys, like that veteran.
If they're checking out of it, and you recognize this, we have something called audibles. Yeah, we have audibles to change the play. All this goes back to preparation. And once again, I'm going to talk about this in just a minute, because I'm not trying to be on too long tonight. I just want to go through a little bit of this and then see what Dak has to say, see what some of the other players have to say. I want to see what Eberflus is going to say with his moronic brain cells. I want to see what he has to say. And then on top of that, I'm going to give you a little bit of history on the need-to-knows.
In defense, and that system is very difficult, and they executed tonight and we didn't.
You look at the big picture now of where you guys are. What's the goal, I guess, with 3 games to go?
Yeah, the goal is to wake up tomorrow. We'll watch the film tonight. Wake up tomorrow, coach these guys up, and we're going to control what we can control. And disappointing. We didn't find a way to win this game. I knew this would be a game like that. I wasn't surprised by that. Kevin's a great coach. Brian's a great coach, and unfortunately, this game came down to the fact of our inability really in the red zone and some of the situational stuff. We weren't very good on defense on 4th down. We forced, I think, 3 4th downs, and they converted a bunch of those. And at the end of the day, when you play, a team like this, you got to be, really on top of your situational stuff, and we weren't.
Nick Harris, Sports Star Telegram, coming out of the bye week.
Situational stuff. You know what? It just appears to me that you're, as much as you were not ready or prepared to play against the Vikings, you are equally not prepared to answer the questions after the game. That's it, man.
Defense had shown some improvements. I know they're different issues, but to still see the defense give up consecutive scoring drives like they did second quarter, third quarter, how tough is that to stomach at the end of the day?
Well, I think, at the end of the day, each drive's different, Nick. I felt like we gave up too many explosives today. We had a big double move, but, I think those are the things you have to eliminate. Again, these guys play hard. These guys played at a really physical game, but at the end of the day, we have to play better, as a football team, and got to get more pressure on the quarterback. Got to get him on the ground. We finally won the turnover battle. That gave us a chance. Great play early on with the interception. We finally took care of the football, but at the end of the day, I don't think we played well enough to win. And again, that's not just the players. That starts with me and the staff, and I own that. I take that, and again,
this is what I'm tired of hearing, man. I own that. I take that. It's just not on the players. It's on me. Listen, man. You didn't have your players ready to rock and roll. Your overall game plan was some garbage. When you decided to run the football going into the fourth quarter, and you ran the football 3 times you ran the football to death, not life, because we ain't even had life after this game. We don't even have life. You ran the football to death. You was not aware of clock management. You have poor clock management, a poor game plan, poor strategy. You didn't even give your receivers an opportunity, man, at all. You had no help for your quarterback. This is all on you, man. It's all on you. And the Cowboy fans deserve better than that, man. It's on you. The clock went down. By the time the fourth down took place, you done ran all the clock out where you had no time, if you wanted to score, to come back and score again. What happened in the last, what was that, the Raiders game? Or I'm thinking, my mind is thinking when your last press conference, when you said, oh, we can score really, really quick. As you can see, we can score really, really quick. Oh, can you win it in the first quarter? Nope. Do you win the ball game in the second quarter? Nope. Do you win the ball game in the third quarter? Nope. But what about that fourth quarter? What happened to the fourth quarter, man? What happened to the fourth quarter? You worked against yourself. You worked against yourself. You used the clock against yourself. The ill-advised crazy timeouts and the clock management was just ridiculous.
Again, give them credit for making the plays that they had to make when they made them.
Building on Todd's question about the big picture, what was your message to the team, knowing that pretty much everything has to go right to sneak into the postseason?
Yeah, I just painted the picture for how the game went. I told them, hey, we're not changing. We're not changing who we are. We knew that we're guaranteed 17 games, and I'm not going to wake up any different tomorrow. I'm frustrated that, we didn't find a way to get this game done. I'm frustrated that we were that poor on third down. We're better than that. I'm better than that. And at the end of the day, I just felt like we never could really, get the thing back over the top.
Yeah. Tim Kelshaw, Dallas Morning News. You were 6-5-1 going into Detroit. Are you surprised to see your team back below 500 again?
No, I don't like it. Obviously, Tim. I'm disappointed. We didn't play well against Detroit. Again, I really do think this. I think we're beating ourselves quite a bit, and that starts with us as a coaching staff. The players are playing hard, but again, you give up big plays and you kick field goals. We kicked field goals today. We were 2 for 5, and they were 3 for 4, and therein you lose by 8 points, and you're like, damn. But we never got to the point where I felt like we were able to really just kind of seize momentum. There wasn't a momentum-changing play in any regard, other than probably the interception early in the game. But you drop 2 games in a row, and you dust yourself off and you get back to work. We play a really good football team in here next week, so we'll get back to work and make some of the adjustments we got to make.
Talking about the third downs, did it seem strange? You had a lot of success on first down.
Yeah.
Down plays.
Well, we ran the ball really well. I thought Javonte Williams, was incredible. We got beat up a little bit, but Javonte, I thought, ran really well. Third down was just the problem. And again, I think that's one of their strengths. I think that's one of the things that they've been.
It was the philosophy, man. He wanted to run the football so much. He was so pressed to get the football rolling in terms of the running game that you neglected your passing game. Your passing game has been your strength all season. You don't change. You continue to ride that wave until a team or until somebody figures out what you're doing. Nobody figured out what the Cowboys doing. Everybody was afraid of our 2 receivers. Everybody. Now, for some crazy, strange epiphany, you decide that I think we're just going to run and get, Javonte going, run. And in the meantime, you at 3rd and 4, you at 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, and you can't even convert. Because by that time, the defense know that you got to pass. And they're sending all out blitzes on your quarterback. You didn't have nobody who was worthy in the slot. Your tight ends got neglected as well. Okay, you didn't utilize your tight ends. You didn't change the scheme or the game plan as it relates to your quarterback. Let's take 3-step drops and the ball is out. 2-step drop, ball out. None of that took place. You just let our quarterback be back there to put him in a position to potentially, thank God, he didn't get hurt.
The best. That's a really good defense, and they do a good job of limiting explosive plays. We finally got CD on top. They played a bunch of cover 2 variations, and again, I think it does help. And they've got veteran players, and I'm a big fan of their scheme that they play, and I'm a big fan of the way that their players play.
Edward or WFA, are you concerned about the amount of pressure that Dak's been exposed to these last few games?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have to keep him upright, and we know that. And again, it was going to be a tough challenge.
Now, looking at Dak Prescott, just finished saying this earlier. You got some running backs, and I like Javonte Williams. I love him. He's a good guy, great guy. But at the end of the day, he nor Malik Williams are good backs in terms of blocking. Their blocking sucks. Everybody want to jump on Zeke. Zeke ain't this. Zeke ain't that. Zeke ain't got it more. But you know what Zeke knew how to do? Whether Zeke was running like he used to run or not. But do you know what Zeke was good at? Number 1, he was good in the red zone. That's number 1. Number 2, he could block his butt off because he's a big back. He couldn't block. That's one thing he could do. These boys can't block, man. I'm sitting here about to cringe. We just saw Mahomes tear his ACL. We just saw Michael Parsons' knee injury. We just saw Devontae Adams blow his hamstring. I ain't trying to have nothing happen to my quarterback or any other prospective high-profile player we got. Not trying to have that, man.
Challenge today. We knew that. We weren't surprised by all the blitzes that we had, but again, I think that they did a really good job of disguising some of the things that they did and getting out of things, and they seem to be a step ahead of us. And I've said it, I'm gonna say it again, that starts with me. I have to be better. I will be better. But that's what these guys do. That's what Minnesota does, man. And they light you up. They get up in the A gaps and they bring different blitzes and pressures and they force free runners. And again, I got a chance to talk to Brian after the game. Told him, hey, hell of a job.
Coach Sidney Staples.
Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me, man. I don't have nothing to say, man.
DG10 Sports, from the time that the final whistle blows and then to you getting to the locker room, giving that post-game speech, what are you thinking about in that time?
It's different. It's a good question. It's different. Sometimes I try to, I just talk from my heart. Today I tried to tell a story. I tried to paint a picture because I know the guys in that locker room are hurting. They're disappointed. We wanted to play well. We wanted to win. So I felt like it was important that I kind of painted the picture of what happened. And I talked a little bit about, basically the things we talked about. Our inability to, sustain third down and convert was huge. And they did a really good job with some of their blitz looks defensively. Talked about the red zone, the explosive plays. And then, again, special teams, we're used to converting all of our kicks. But at the end of the day, Sydney, it was a deal where, we didn't make the plays when we had to make the play. You got to get off the field on fourth down on defense. You got to convert a third down. You're a play or two away. That's what that game was. We were a play or two away, and we didn't make it, and that's why we're so disappointed.
Is that story you told more of like a metaphorical one, or just kind of recapping game and what that means?
Yeah,
It don't make a difference what kind of story it was, man. What are you talking about? It don't make a difference what kind of story it was. I don't care if you read them a bedtime story, man. At the end of the day, guess what? They got their teeth kicked in, man. You trying to get theatrical about a damn story. I mean, some of these reporters, man, make you want to make it out of here, man. Dang, man. What kind of was it, a metaphorical one? Get the hell out of here, man.
Today, I really just wanted to hit them with the facts. I mean, they're grown men. They can take it. I certainly threw myself in there. What I did not do a good job of. I kind of started with that, to be honest with you. I will always do that. It's always going to start with me and the things that I messed up and didn't do very well. And Brian Flores was better than me today. And I won't sleep very good tonight, but I promise you I'll wake up tomorrow and I'm going to work my...
He said exactly what I said that took place. He got out-coached, man. And that's the bottom line. He got out-coached, period. The stage was too big for him last night. The stage was too big. Too big. And it showed. He had zero adjustments. From the first half to the second half, no adjustments. You know what his adjustment was coming out of the first half? Run the football. It was the exact same thing that Dak Prescott said in the pregame interview. We want to start off fast, and we want to come in the second half and run the football. That was a mistake. That came from Brian Schottenheimer. That was his game plan. Now, you got Pickens that's hungry to catch the ball. You got CeeDee Lamb that's ready to rock and roll and make a statement. These boys wanted to make a statement, not neglecting the running game. But the running game, we're going to get you going, but we want to get this passing game. We want to get the ball down the field. We want to score fast. We want to put them on their heels quick. Air it out. We got some horses. Air it out. Somebody open. Nah, man. Wrong game plan. And it showed.
Mask off, and I'm going to figure it out.
Getting back to the third quarter, you have 2017, it's 4th and 3 at your 18, and you pick the field goal. Do you think about going for it there, knowing that you might need some touchdowns?
I did, but again, at the end of the day, I was hunting points. I mean, it's a good defense, and what was the score at the time?
You were up 2017.
2017, yeah. I did, yeah. I remember it now, yeah. We thought about it, we talked about it, but, we were actually moving the ball okay, and unfortunately the third down's caught up to
Did
it.
you hear this, man? He said he thought about it. Yeah, he thought about it. What was the score at that time? 20. Okay, yeah, we thought about it. We did. I remember that play. We thought about it. What the hell, man? Look, do y'all be having these moments in the game where somebody says, let's blow these boys out? This playoff football. Go for it. Don't come to us, man, after the game is over and be blowing smoke up our rectum. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm about to turn this off, man. Get in something else, man.
But I did think about it. But again, I wanted to take the points, and hindsight, obviously, as you know, can be 20/20. But I like this with a 6-point lead.
What is Kalen Carson doing that Diggs can't do that he's not healthy enough to do?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
We're not comparing players. I mean, again,
You know what? Clarence can say some off-the-wall bull crap sometimes. He really, really can. He can be off-key, off-keister, whatever you want to call it. He can be. But that question right there was point. Because Carson is some garbage. Carson is some garbage. Revel, garbage. Bell, garbage. Wilson, he on Garbage Avenue. He ain't been right since a while now. Bland, somewhat given benefit of doubt, somewhat. Diggs should have been playing. If that's the case, Diggs should have been playing. He ain't no better or no worse than the rest of these guys you got in the secondary. You should have had Diggs playing. As a matter of fact, put Diggs out there for the remainder of the 3 games. Put Diggs out there. That part. I don't care what nobody got to say. I don't care. Put Diggs back out there again. You paying him, play him.
Kalen's a young player. He's talented, and Trayvon had a better week. And at the end of the day, there's a reason it's a 3-week ramp-up period, and it takes time. I know he feels healthy and he feels ready to play. We obviously felt a little bit different, but again, young players are they're gonna make mistakes. And Kalen, got beat on a double move. Vaughn got behind him one time. I mean, that's
Trayvon had a better week than Kalen. And you started Carson. Make that make sense to me, man. I guess I'm getting tired of all of the games that's being played. Well, he's not acting like the kind of player that I don't want to hear none of that, man. Put the boy on the football field, man. Put him on the football field. Because y'all playing too many damn games, man.
That's part of being a young player, and the more they play, the more that they grow, and that's why you.
Man, come on, man! You mean to tell me that now at this junction we're trying to make the playoffs, or was trying to make the playoffs? You experimenting? What the hell is that? I don't give a damn if he is a rookie. Put Trayvon in the game. He has experience. This is not the time to be experimenting. Oh my goodness, man. You know what, bro?
Like to have young players, and you understand they're going to make mistakes. What concerns you is if they don't respond after they make those mistakes. And I think these guys do respond, which tells you they're the right kind of guys.
There's something to know also to having a savvy veteran who's been in those situations before and has instincts and a resume and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but again, as we've talked about, again, when he's ready to go, I know he feels ready to go. And again, I love that. For him as a competitor, I love that. But at the end of the day, I felt differently.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
If he tells you.
I do not like that. Because now you're showing me that you got a hidden agenda. You got favoritisms, and I don't like that. I don't like the clicks and the clacks, man. I don't like that. See, that's the stuff right there, man, that causes our team to end up breaking and being separated because of stuff like that, man. That right there, no. See, I know where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't care anything about what Trayvon Diggs and how much he loved Micah Parsons. I don't give a rat's tail about that. I care about the performance on the football field. And if you got some incompetent rookies that's playing in a month that is high intensity, teams have now upped their intensity moving into the playoffs, and rookies do not know how to adjust to that kind of intensity. Well, Trayvon Diggs does. Well, you know what? As I said, this is all on you, bro. All on you. Own it.
he's ready to go. What are you guys not seeing?
Yeah, different things, consistency. I think I've been very honest about that. There's with all of our players, there's things that they need to do from a consistency standpoint to make us feel good about, putting them out there. And again, I know he felt like he wanted to play, and he felt like he was ready to play. And like I said, we made a decision as a team, and I made a decision, and we went a different direction. So we'll see how this week goes.
Then, back on the pressure that they brought, is there times where you guys just have to attack their pressure to scare them out of it? At times, did you feel like you had...
Yeah, you have different tools, but again, I think they just put themselves in a position where they just kind of they had the upper hand. And again,
I've heard enough from him, man. I heard enough of this dude, man. Let me tell you something. Y'all listen to me real good. See, I know football. I may not have the toasters to place pictures up to show you and my background about certain things, but just listen to me, man. One thing that Jerry Jones knows how to do is he knows how to get coaches that will bow down to him. Make no mistake about it, Jerry Jones did a very, very good job in terms of getting the players that he needed. He did some things this year in free agency that he hasn't done in a long time, back to the Deion Sanders days. There's a lot of acquisitions that he has made. He put together a nice team, acquiring the services of George Pickens, acquiring the services of Logan, acquiring the services of Quentin Williams. I mean, he has done a lot. The Solomon Thomas acquisition. He has done a lot from off-season to regular season. His Achilles heel, because we have always had talent. You can go back to whenever. We've always had talent. Our Achilles heel has always been coaching. Coaching. And do you know what? I said I was going to talk about this later, but let me throw this in here because I'm done with Eber. I'm done. You might as well call him Eberflus Part 2. I'm done with Brian Schottenheimer right now. Done with him. Okay? Because I'm not going to call him Shotty Too Hotty no more. I'm going to call him Brian Schottenheimer. Because let me tell you something. Jerry Jones knows how to get players that remind us of Coach Clapp. He gets coaches that remind us of Coach Clapp. Jason Garrett. Do you hear him? He sounds now just like Jason Garrett. A coach that never got the Cowboys to the NFC Championship game. I think. I got to go back. I think. I mean, my mind is scrambled. I think the Dez Bryant into the Green Bay, the NFC Championship game, I think that was the Romo one. But other than that, that's it. I think. I got to go back and look at that. But Coach Clapp never won a championship, never won Super Bowl, nothing. All right, we get McCarthy, comes in here 4 years, never won anything, didn't go to an NFC Championship game, nada. We get him in here. Here we go. This is the time for you to show, because we all know that when a new coach comes in to the league, nobody really knows what he's going to do. That's the time for you to run the table. That's the time for you to exhaust every play that you can think of to get your team in the playoffs and beyond and go on a run. You had an emotional run with the unfortunate of kneeling. Most coaches in their first year and the teams rallying behind that coach generally rides that team to a deep into the playoffs or a Super Bowl. You failed and didn't do that. Here's another thing. I don't want to bring this up, but I got to bring this up. And I know this is his first year, but I still got to bring it up. In the history of his father, the late Marty Schottenheimer, He couldn't get over the top. In his career, he only had 3 AFC championship games. He had 2 from Cleveland, 1 from Kansas City Chiefs. He didn't have any as a Chargers head coach. Didn't have any championship game or postseason appearances from the Washington Redskins. When it came time for December, this is what the Cowboys always do. This is what Coach Marty Schottenheimer did. When it came time for December, his team under Phillip Rivers and all them guys, the teams that he played for or coached for, didn't get over the hump. Did good in the regular season, ballers in the regular season, straight ballers in the regular. When it came down to December, January, nothing. They're moving forward to the Cowboys. The Cowboys does extremely well in the regular season. They're gonna give you everything you can handle, regular season. When it comes down to cash in the chips in December, January, we got this coach talking stupid. I am petrified to hear what Eberflus has to say. I don't even know if I have time to listen to this dude tonight, man. I might have to do a part 2 tomorrow, because I'm just right now, I'm exhausted, man. I've been exhausted all day. I threw my cell phone up against the wall yesterday night. Look, bro. To hear this malarkey is unbelievable. Here's another one for you before I go. I'm trying to move on to Dak Prescott. Eberflus. You saw how Chicago was when he was there. Saw how they were struggling. Couldn't win a game. See that? It wasn't Justin Fields. And the offense. It was Eberflus. Because Justin Fields was playing very, very good. He was playing solid football. Justin Fields was. But the defense, the Cowboys have inherited that defense. What is our offense doing? Our offense is killing it. Our offense is ranked number 1 in the league overall. What is the defense under Eberflus? Reminds you of Chicago. Now you got all the Chicago fans saying to me and others, I'm sure, thank God y'all got him and he is out of Chicago. Thank you. You see now what we was dealing with him in Chicago. And if this foosball is here with Dallas next year, trust me when I tell you, already consider the season a wash. It's done. Because Eberflus is not the answer. I already know they're going to give Brian Schottenheimer an opportunity this next season. I already know that. This is your first season. We're going to give you another chance. So get ready for mediocre football from the Dallas Cowboys, especially on the defensive side. And if he don't get it together on the offensive side, this is what you're going to see. And he's going to end up trying to get our quarterback hurt. I'm done with him, man. Dak Prescott. Done with this dude, man. Done with him, man. I can't, man. I can't, bro.
Construction workers just don't like paperwork.
I can't.
They're
man.
right.
It's unreal. Come on, Dak. It's my
You know,
quarterback.
those Cowboys, that, what were they doing defensively? Just keep the lid on it and seem like frustrate your offense.
Yeah, the zero that we talked about just throughout the week. Gave it to us a bunch. We didn't have a good enough answer. And when you don't have a good enough answer for that, especially against Flores, you're going to see it again and again.
I can stop right there. Dak Prescott is giving out codes already. He's giving out codes already. These are code phrases he's giving out already. We didn't have a good enough game plan. Brian Schottenheimer, Your quarterback is telling you you didn't have a good enough game plan. And I'm willing to bet everything that I got that Dak Prescott knew it going into this game. But there wasn't nothing he can do about it because he ain't calling the shot. He ain't pushing the buttons and pulling the cords. Brian Schottenheimer is. Same thing. Maybe these coaches need to have a committee to approve whatever game plan they decide to utilize at game day. Maybe they need to have a committee to approve or disapprove it. Come on, bro. Talk. Preach, man. Preach that.
And that's what happened. They did a great job of the back end, right, playing with vision. So it made it tough to get to the beaters, normal zero beaters when they're playing man, looking at the man, but they're looking at the quarterback. And so, they're going to rally when you throw it underneath and you don't have time to get it past them. And they did a good job. They kept it on us and we didn't adjust fast enough or come up with something good enough to scare them out of it. And we saw it the whole game.
You talked earlier this week about having to win out to give yourself a chance to make the playoffs. What's the goal now? Does anything change for you guys?
No, I mean, we've got it's professionals. You're a professional football player. Like, you got to come to work and give your absolute best regardless. Unfortunately, I'm sure the playoffs are out of the picture, but it's about taking pride in who you are as a man, and not only that, in your job and everything that's gotten you to this point. I mean, I know for a lot of guys and just the business of the world, right? Like, that's interviews for some people. Like you can't just give up. You can't just stop. You can't just say, "Oh, we're not going to playoffs." Like, it's the National Football League. I just saw a team Thursday night, that's not going to playoffs beat a good team and knock them out. And so we've got to show up and just do our job. We got to show up and do our job, and that starts throughout the week. And when you get to the game days, it's a celebration of the hard work that you've put in through your preparation. So nothing's going to change for me, and that's going to be my influence as a leader. My message to anybody around me is taking pride in who you are as a man and who you are as a football player, and the job responsibility that you have. And what that entails is giving your best every day. And if you don't, you probably won't be in this league for long.
Dak, Todd Archer, the
And now, let me say this. And all that he just said in just that short clip, Brian Schottenheimer did look in the mirror, man, and decide, is this something that he really want to be? Because unfortunately, being a head coach, you are held responsible for everything from the ceiling down to the floor. You are held responsible. And if you're not giving your best, this was the time for you, and all those tears that you were sharing, being excited about being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, you are supposed to give your all every single game. The preparation now is supposed to be heightened so high. This is red alert because we've seen it before. This is red alert. Come on, man. Come on, man. Your quarterback telling you right now, you ain't going to be in this league long, man, if you ain't putting your best foot forward. You're not coming out giving your all. And that starts numero uno from the coaches. I ain't looking at the players. I'm not looking at the players. Schematically, you're supposed to be able to combat that. Whatever that defense or the defenses were trying to do, schematically, you are supposed to combat that. It's called making adjustments, baby. We're going to make the adjustments. Did we see any screenplays at all? Did we see any screenplays called? No. Whether it was wide receiver screenplays, running back screens. Did we see any of those? No. Did we see any draw plays? No. 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Did we see any quarterback sneaks? No. No. Come on, man.
Ben, you leave here after Thanksgiving beating Chiefs, and now here you are back under 500. Can you just talk about the range of emotions here in the last how many days that's been?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, hard to even go back to those highs. But yeah, I mean, you beat two good teams, beat the two Super Bowl teams here, and a matter of 9 days, something like that. And then, you go on the road and have to play a really good team. And they got the better end of us last week. And as I said, if we played that game, 10 times, it might be 5-5 or 6-4. Who knows? Who knows which way? That's kind of that matchup last week, and we didn't do the things necessary to win, didn't score in the red zone, and come into this game, and we couldn't get an answer for cover 0, and we didn't score in the red zone. And you add those two things together, and you're going to lose by, was it 8? I guess at the end of it, by 8. And yeah, it's unfortunate. It sucks, but it's the reality of the NFL. It's hard.
Down tonight, was that the 0 looks? Are you talking about most of them came there, or
most of them came there? They obviously brought some in second down. I believe maybe 1 or 2 in first down. Yeah, we just didn't have a good enough answer, I'll say, to scare him out of it or really to hurt it, and that's something that we've been good at in the past. And whether it was back and forth between, two decisions, should we do this or should we do that? A little analysis by paralysis myself or the staff, between just all of us together. It just wasn't good enough.
All right, so Dak Prescott is breaking this thing down for us to give us a bigger picture, a better picture in terms of what was taking place with the offense and what the defense was doing to the offense with this 0 look. At the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not going to back down from what I said. Your head coach got to be the one to make the adjustments. I mean, you got to get them off their square some kind of way. Like I said, you're going to have to create some screens. You're going to have to get your tight end in position to shield and catch. You're going to have to do something, man. You have to do something. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is going to be open. We saw one time when Flanor was wide open in the seam. He was wide open, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Season, it's pretty obvious that you have a lot of confidence in this roster and just how you feel about it. So just being here right now, how surprised are you that you guys are in this position?
Yeah, definitely surprised, especially, after the bye week, the trades, get rolling like we did for those few weeks, and then watch the confidence just skyrocket, right? And stopping teams, scoring at will, coming back from 21 points, just a lot of good wins there that to be in this position. I mean, just remind you of every play matters. Like this, it's a hard game. Like those guys they get paid too. They practice throughout the week and prepare no different than we do. And it's tough. I mean, I'm definitely surprised, definitely hurt, pissed off, frustrated. But all I can do is get better tomorrow.
And then just with George Pickens, why do you think that maybe it wasn't able to get going tonight with him?
Yeah, honestly, just the zero looks and things like that. And I mean, simple as that, is that they were, anytime we're in a passing situation or passing downs, and when they were giving us that look, and we try to throw them just a quick smoke earth.
When it comes to these plays this 0 look, man, at some point in time, you got to have, and I didn't see this during the game, you got to have disguises on offense. Just like the defense got disguises on defense, you got to have a disguise on offense. So these players can understand, your players can understand that we are going to combat this. We're going to figure this out. This is what they pay these coaches to do, man. It is just not to come in and be emotional because you got a coaching job on a high level for either the Cowboys or the Pittsburgh Steelers or whoever the daggone team is, man. But your job is to come in here and to perform. Perform, bruh. Perform. Just like your quarterback or your running back or your receivers or your defensive ends or your middle linebackers, man, you got the same job as a coach to perform. And y'all not performing, man. To hear our quarterback saying this right here, this ain't on Dak Prescott, man. It's not on Dak Prescott. This on you. He's running your scheme. He's running your game plan. He is. Yes, he's the manager on the football field, but you're the overall supervisor of the whole operation. You're the operations manager. Come on, man. I call it ace a spade a spade. That's on the coaches.
Not early, well, late, honestly. And maybe we should have done it earlier. Maybe we should have just thrown him a slant. A lot of maybes. I'm frustrated. This was one of the toughest ones I've been a part of.
Nick Harris, Full Star Telegram. Red zone, I know that was a big issue coming out of last week. Where do you credit the red zone issues over the course of these last two games?
They ain't even getting the red zone.
I mean, just not executing, I guess. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
they ain't even sniffed the red zone.
It's hard to say. It really is hard to say. Obviously, I've got to go back and watch the film on this particular game. But I know last week I had a play or two myself. A guy had a play here last week. We were just taking turns on simple execution that didn't allow, a play to be successful or to be the touchdown play. And I'm not sure tonight after I haven't watched it yet, and so I have to give you that this week.
You talk about the frustration. Does that stem from you guys just feel like you had it all the way up until the fourth quarter, or coming into the week felt really good about it? Where does the frustration really stem for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've got into we're kicking the onside kick. So, I mean, the frustration comes from honestly just not having a good enough plan to beat that cover zero and seeing something over and over and over. And
see that again? It's the game plan. They didn't have a better plan to combat what they were doing on the zero coverages. It ain't like you haven't seen this before. There isn't one defensive scheme or package that these professionals haven't seen. And we're talking about coaches again. I'm going to drive coaches until coaches is sick at this point in time. It's your job to make sure your team is ready to rock and roll. Whether it's a 3-4, whether it's a zero package, whether it's a 4-3, whether it's a nickel, whether it's a 2 high, 3 high, don't make a difference what it is, man. It's your job to combat it. That's what they're paying you for.
Like that, and not being able to gash it.
I'm not going to continue listening to our quarterback try to explain the same thing over and over again. Y'all ask them the same questions over and over and over and over again. Tomorrow, I'm not going to do it tonight, man, because I'm exhausted tonight listening to this, because it is what I was saying it was when I was watching the game live. When I was watching, and like I said, I put together a video, and that video, man, I couldn't air that video, man. I couldn't air that video, man. You would have saw me in super duper rare form. I said earlier that I'm gonna be calm this video, and I'm calm. I'm as calm as I'm gonna get right now until we get through with this season, and we get into the plans of what the Cowboys are going to do for this team moving forward. Then I'll be in Roe Star mode. Right now, I'm in nuclear star mode right now. But I love my quarterback. I love him to life. You know what I'm saying? Four gonna always be hanging in my rafters. You know what I'm saying? The receiving core, love them. Defensive front, love them. The Cowboys are gonna have to figure out this Terrence Steele position. They're going to have to figure out how to get a player on that left tackle position that's going to be a stud. Somebody that's not injury prone, that's not going to miss 3 and 4 games because of a freaking injury, or be out of the game for the rest of the game because they're trying to figure out if the pain is coming from their titty or it's coming from their shoulder, or where, and he making these crazy motions on national TV looking soft as cotton. Need to figure that out. The Cowboys need to figure out in the draft to get a bona fide defensive end, because Clowney days are done as a defensive end. He don't have it no more. He's through. He can't give you nothing, nada. You're going to have to figure out who you're going to have as a linebacker, because Murray is not the answer. That's a no-go, okay? Then on the back end, you're going to have to figure out who you're going to get as a cornerback and as a safety that knows how to cover, that knows how to get interceptions, and knows how to stop playing the man so much and look back and see what's going on occasionally, or more than occasional, in terms of where the ball is coming. You got your hand, you know he's here. Turn your head, bro, and get some INTs. Put yourself in the position. We need some bona fide cornerbacks, man, in Dallas, man. Bona fide cornerback. This is who Dallas need. Number one on the list, I'm going to tell you, it has to be defensive end. Gotta be. You got what you need on the forefront. You need a disruptor on that defensive end. That's what you need, man. And everything else, decide. I would dare even say throw a running back in there. You're going to need a running back, preferably a running back that's a good blocker. No shade thrown at Jaden Williams. No shade. 1,000-yard back, great. First 1,000 yards that he received in his career. Great, got you. I don't mind you keeping him, but in the draft, I need a stud, man. I need somebody that when you put him in that backfield, he's going to make them, Now, Jaden can get the tough yards, stuff like that. Fine. Rotate back and forth, 1-2 punch, fine. But I need somebody when it's time to block. I need a fullback that's going to be a stud, especially when he's blocking. We need that. Dallas Cowboys got some work to do in the draft. You got some work to do in the draft. The first thing before the draft starts is you need to get Pickens signed. Number one, get Pickens signed ASAP. Can't let Pickens go. Need him. Now, the Cowboys need some work to do. Eberflus need to be gone. Finger the pass. I don't even want to see that dude enter into the star no more. He is done in Dallas. He needs to be done. Jerry Wayne Jones, Eberflus, fired. I'm gone. I'm going to come back, man. Talk a little more tomorrow about Eberflus. Dead. Night to you. Roe Star Sports. Subscribe to the channel, like the content. How about them Cowboys? Man, how about them Cowboys, man?